Hello and welcome to 3 Cups Tarot. On this channel, I do readings intended to uplift and guide the collective towards their highest path. And today we're going to do some guidance for the week ahead. And this reading is timeless, but whenever you're finding it, that's the right time that it needs to be for you. But if you're curious about the energies, maybe astrologically, or the timing as it appears in relevance to your life, I'm recording this on May 3rd, 2025. So let's get our 3 cards for the week. The first reading is getting 8 of Blades. The second reading is getting 10 of Sticks. And the third reading is getting Queen of Stones. Okay, I won't say much more, but it kind of looks like great news, great energy all around this week. So take a moment and see what imagery or energies or words are drawing you. And you can click ahead in the timestamps to your reading, and I'll see you there. Hi, reading 1. So you were drawn to this 8 of Blades card, and the equivalent is the 8 of Swords in the typical tarot. And the 8 of Swords usually depicts a woman blindfolded and encircled by swords. And so the message there is that if the woman had taken off her blindfold, she could see that she could easily leave that circle of swords. But because she believes she is trapped, and she is kind of blinding herself to the fact that there are opportunities to escape, she stays there. She stays where she is. It's almost like staying in like a comfort zone of some sort, even though it is limiting or keeping her small, keeping her contained. But in this 8 of Blades, you can see it's very different, right? There's teamwork happening. And it's almost like you see the aftermath of a storm. And that could have been the end of that path. If people didn't team up together here and get to work, they could have been trapped, contained by those fallen trees, but instead they chose to work together, find a solution. I'm very much getting 3 of Pentacles energy here, with the 3 people working together, collaborating to accomplish some goal that is best accomplished in a team. So I kind of want to see if the 3 of Pentacles comes up as confirmation. But if not, whatever card comes through, we'll take it. Oh, Strength! This is a beautiful card to come through here. Wow. And this isn't just any strength. This is like a soulful strength, spiritual kind of strength. It could also be, if you've been practicing any sort of positive thinking, affirmations, mindfulness, anything that is a tool for you to overcome those self-limiting beliefs that are typically in the 8 of Blades, you've gained mastery over this week. That's your main message. You have attained that key point of strength, and the possibilities are endless. Because of that inner strength, the mental fortitude that you've built for yourself. And this didn't happen just this week, right? You probably took months to years of consistent effort to get here, but you are here now, and that's great news. So let's get some more cards in here to elaborate on your message. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Number 8, Ancestral Love. By the way, Strength is also number 8. Oh my gosh, you have 888. Oh, that's so cool. So you want to look out for repeating eights, specifically 3 8s, triple eights in your week. That will be a sign to you. Ancestral love tending. I feel like there's something bigger at play here. With you reaching this pinnacle of strength, you've also kind of achieved some ancestral aim for multiple generations, or you've carried on an ancestral tradition of coming into your strength. It's almost like a rite of passage, of initiation that I'm feeling spiritually that has happened with you. Tending, it's like you're tending to the line. You've kept the chain going by getting to the strength point. That's so cool. So what's ahead for our reading ones this week now that they've obtained the strength? What's the bigger picture here? Home. I really feel like you've carved out a sense of home, a sense of stability and belonging for yourself with this practice. It's kind of like you're claiming your ground, your territory, and you're saying to whatever external forces was making you feel this way, you're putting the boundaries, you're saying no, and you're creating a safe space for yourself and for your family or those that you live with. Let's see. I want to pull one more card, but I feel clearly already the message here is that enjoy this sense of home that I feel like you've been yearning for a while, building towards it for a while. Majestic moose, bravery, grit, durability, horned beast of the forest, show me how to stand mighty and proud. Yeah, just like the strength card in home was coming in here. Stand proud, grit, dig in. This is your place. This is your territory. You absolutely do belong here. And I don't have to tell you, don't let anyone else tell you otherwise, because you're already there. You already got this. Wishing you the best week with that. Thank you for any likes, shares, subscribes, and comments. If you're drawn to another card, I will see you in that reading too. Hi, reading 2. So you are drawn to the 10 of Sticks cards, which is the equivalent of the 10 of Wands. And it's really different from how the 10 of Wands is typically shown. Typically, there are two people, there's one person carrying a load of like firewood or logs on their back and bending under the weight, but trying to persevere to get to that hill, that house on the hill in the end. And the message is usually that sorry, I'm distracted by the words here. It says L and T, if that's meaningful to anyone. I don't really know what that means. The message for the 10 of Wands is that you are very much at the end of a burden, but you're very much feeling the burden too at this point. And so the message is usually just keep going, you're almost there, or release some of your responsibilities that you're taking on because they can be shared or they're not your responsibilities to begin with. You don't need to carry that burden. Metaphorically or like actually physically too. But I was instantly drawn to this card when I pulled it, especially if you look at the full, or it looks almost like an eclipsed moon. It's kind of purple looking. I think it's so beautiful. And this group of people are burning the sticks rather than carrying them. It almost feels as if they made it to the top carrying those sticks and now they're enjoying the fruits of their labor, which is a bonfire and s'mores and music and just enjoying each other's company in the most simple way. So you might be having some sort of outdoor dinner party or a bonfire or going camping in the works this week. Either you're planning it or you're going on a trip, and there's so much joy around this, and you're being called to really soak up this moment. Take it for all it is. Maybe you're stressed and you're not sure if you should take time off of work or school or your responsibilities, but your message is that you absolutely deserve this break. You need it, and it's a gift from the universe for you to take advantage of right now. So let's draw some other cards to see how your week is shaping up. Loving lobster simplicity, like I was just saying, the simple things in life. Steadfastness, safety. Curious creature exploring deep waters, guide me to a new discovery. Yeah, if you're invited to a weekend trip or a dinner party, like I said, especially if it's something new, please do this, is what your guides are saying. You will actually be surprised at how meaningful this will be for you. Okay, and you're also getting loosen your grip. Coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. And in this instance, let God in is like, let the moment in, let the serendipity in, and let yourself get carried away with it. Density almost seems like the opposite to simplicity, right? It's almost like life has felt really hard recently, and it doesn't have to. And your guides understand that it feels very serious. It feels like if you let go of the wheel, who's going to steer the ship? But they're saying, let go of the wheel, we got you. We'll still steer the ship. The ship is still steering itself without you there. It can run kind of like on autopilot for now. You need a break so that you can steer the ship, which is like your life or whatever responsibilities you're carrying with a 10 of sticks, in a more simplistic, easy way. There's like an ease of life if you just let go a little bit for your own good, and actually for the good of everyone involved. It's almost like you taking a break will benefit everyone. Ooh, so you're getting strength, and strength came up in reading 1 in a different deck, from a different deck. So if you were drawn to reading 1, there's probably a message for you there too. And it feels very similar, the message here. It's like a mental strength. It takes a lot of strength to let go. It takes a lot of strength to stand up to your ego, which is the part of you that wants to just protect you and keep you safe. To kind of ride the waves of life so that you can attain a higher sense of living, a higher sense of joy in living. I feel like your coping mechanism is like control. So if you feel like you're trying to control a lot of little things around your life, even people, try to reframe that to yourself as a coping mechanism, and then gently work backwards and ask yourself, what is underneath that coping mechanism? Why am I reacting that way? Usually there's fear there, or a sense of needing to survive, and instead of jumping into problem solving or controlling a situation, the message here is to trace back the feelings, the emotions, the events that got you to this response in the first place, because you can respond that way, but you don't have to, and it will be a lot easier for you with the Ten of Wands to release the burden of having to respond in such a way. There are other ways that you can respond. You can let go a bit for your greater joy, even though it feels counterintuitive to you right now. The Owl and Hop Wisdom, number 22. So repeating twos would be a message to you this week if you see, like, especially number 22. 22 is a master number of, what is that? The Master Builder, I think. Let me look it up really quick. Yeah, the Master Builder. Turning ambitious dreams into reality through a combination of inspirational insight from the number 11. So also, if you see the number 11, think of it as being a part of your master number 22. You might be life path number 22. You might want to look that up for yourself. Yeah, this is ending your reading, reconfirming that the strength is mental. It comes into this graduation into wisdom, where you can soar to another level of doing life in a more joyful way. And it's almost like a more productive way when you let go and ride the flow of the universe. It's almost like your guides are saying you're slowing things down by trying to control every little move. If you let go, things will happen much faster and in a much better way than you ever anticipated. And that's your reading for this week. I'm wishing you the best week. Thank you for any likes, shares, subscribes, and comments. And I will see you in another reading if you're drawn to another card for this week. Hi, reading 3. So you were drawn to the Queen of Stones card, which is the equivalent of the Queen of Pentacles. And this Queen of Pentacles appears to be an instructor or a supporter of some kind. I would take her as an instructor. And so the message really for this week for you is that you have something that you can teach, knowledge that you can share with the world to nurture people into their own greatness. And there's a secondary message there, which is that to acknowledge and accept and enjoy your own greatness, that you reach some point of greatness, and to recognize that with yourself. That's really nice. Beyond that, I want to see what other actions are coming through for this week that are being recommended or shown to you. Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Wow. So aligned. Yeah, so you have something to teach people, and the knowledge and the wisdom comes from the path that you paved for yourself. The path that you paved for yourself, just by pursuing your own dreams, living your life, doing things your way. That was all essential, not only just for you to follow your calling and get to where you are, but to then become the leader that you wish you had while you were forging that path. Yeah. If you have an opportunity to share your knowledge, to teach, whether it's in a formal or informal setting, this is really being celebrated right now, this week especially. And I feel the sense that you do have an opportunity this week to do that. If you've never taught or shared your wisdom before, then this will be the kind of event that gets you hooked and kind of clicks, and you kind of realize who you are and that you very much like being this teacher or leader. It feels right to you. And so no need to ignore that. That's definitely the intention, and that's where you should be. Power, wow. You know what's funny is if you're drawn to the other readings, they both got the strength card from different decks, and you are getting power card, which feels a lot like strength to me, but this feels more like an innate power, whereas their readings, the strength came from something they had practiced, and it amounted to a pinnacle point of strength. For you, it's almost like you're recognizing your power, releasing your power, but also harnessing your power into achieving a certain aim and to guiding others. Others recognize the power you have. It's kind of the message here is that you should also recognize your power. Otherwise, you're just lying to yourself. You're fooling yourself. I actually see two cards here. 33, Fall Equinox, Buffalo Release. And 32, Summer Solstice Deer. Interesting. This deck is super shuffled, and these cards are poking out from like two different places. It's interesting that they're right next to each other. And they're these quarterly points in the year cycle. So fall equinox is coming in this reading before summer solstice. But at the time of this reading, summer solstice is coming up next before the fall equinox. So I take this to be your in-between. This is referring to the previous fall equinox, so that would be around like September 20th, 2024. Something that you released, or some big event helped you release something that was holding you back from your power then. And now we're rolling around, what is this, 9 months later? To the summer solstice, which would be around June 20th or 21st. And I feel like this is when your corresponding moment of recognition of your, when you come into your power, you become that Queen of Pentacles, the nourishing leader that the community, that the world needs. Yeah, if there's something that you're starting in June or past or around June 20th, this is so supported. This is the thing we're talking about. I just keep looking at the strawberries, and it makes me want to say that for some people, this is an indication of a place, a key place. So a place where strawberries grow very well. Or a place that's known for their strawberries. So where I live in Asia, we get our strawberries from Japan. Where I grew up in California, in Central California, there were strawberry farms that were well known. So, I mean, there's plenty of places where strawberries come from, but that's an indication or a confirmation of place for some people. So if you're unsure about taking up, say, a job or a role in a summer program, somewhere that you're not used to or you've never been to, And if they're like known for their strawberries, or there's a strawberry festival or something like that, that would be your confirmation that yes, you should do this. Very clear answer for you. Yeah, I feel like that's your message. I'm gonna leave it there, but I'm wishing you the best week with that. Sounds very exciting. Just remember, you're a leader, you're a powerful leader, and you're a nourishing Queen of Pentacles leader that others will come to depend on. You don't have to feel like an imposter. Others see the power, they recognize it, and they honor it. And you should too. And I'm wishing you the best week with that. Thank you for any likes, shares, subscribes, or comments. And if you wanted to see one of those other readings, I will see you there.